So today I'm going to go over a few examples here for Sorites, just to get you started on the process that we're going to be using to test for validity in Sorites. You'll notice that we have more different from the categorical syllogisms that we've been testing so far this semester. We have more than one premise. So we have a little bit different of a process. First step is to put it into standard form so we know the proper order of the premises, and then test each step as we go along. So let's go ahead and put these into standard form. Kind of the same process as we did before the major premise, which is the predicate of the conclusion, or the major term. Major premise is the one with the major term. We need to put that at the top, like we do with categorical syllogisms. So right here, the major term is A. And you'll see there's only one premise with an A in it, and that's no A or B. And then we look at the other term that's in that premise, which here is B. And there's one premise that has B in it. We'll put that one next. All C are B. And then we look at the other term that's in it. So we already have B taken care of. We're looking for the premise with C in it. And sure enough, the only premise that's left has C, some D or C. I'm going to leave a little gap here. You'll see why in a minute. Some D or C. Then I'm going to leave another gap and carry down our conclusion. And this is a good way to double check. So we've got the C that was used again. Our conclusion should have D, and D is the other term, and then the A is back up at the top. So everything comes full circle. Some D are not A. Okay. So this is the standard form that we're going to be using top to bottom. So we can kind of cross this out, not worry about it for now, or not worry about it anymore. This is the new form that we're using. I'm going to switch to a red marker so that we can highlight some of these. So we're going to make a Venn diagram for each test that we're doing to create a subconclusion. So the first one, we're going to be using, so this is the Venn diagram for the first two premises. So number one, so we're looking at no A or B, all C or B. So B is the middle term there. A and C, just label those. Doesn't really matter what order you do. I know we were really consistent with the categorical syllogisms. But with Sorites, as long as you get the middle term in the middle, it's not too important. I just go with the first and the second there. So no A or B, we shade out and eliminate the football between A and B. All C or B, we eliminate the top right crescent so that all C are part of B. And then what we're doing here, so we've got to draw a subconclusion. So we're looking, we've already used up the middle term premises. So we're focusing on the top two circles to see if we can draw a subconclusion from that. And it's not something we've already been told. So we've already been told all C or B, no A or B. But sure enough, you can look and see that there is a premise or a subconclusion that we can draw from that. And it's that no A or C. So we'll go ahead, no A or C, fill in that subconclusion into your form there. And we're going to move on to the next step, which is drawing a 3-circle Venn diagram for the next 2 premises. So we have the subconclusion that we drew from that, and we have the next premise in the argument. All right, so no A or C, some D or C. Let's do the universal first. Middle term is C, so that's down here, and then A and D. So no A or C, shade out the football between A and C. Some D or C, we only have one spot left to put an X, right down here. So the conclusion, we look at different conclusions that we can draw. So we're looking at, again, the top boxes to try to draw a conclusion here. And we've got this football right here shaded out. And the X, if you look at just those 2 circles, falls into this space right here. So we should be able to draw out that conclusion. Some D or not A. This falls, there's an X in the space of D that's not part of A. And that matches up with our conclusion. So this Sorites is valid.